Hello guys and welcome to HRL Season 6, round number 8, Ontario GK. This is going to be Moto do. Let's get our starting order, dude. So, on the right here is going to be Shift, on the left Sector, on the right Vulcan, on the left Ricardo, on the right Elite, on the left Slaunch, on the right Camby, on the left Phil, on the right Roman, on the left Opix, on the right Detail, on the left Hunter, on the right Real Deal, on the left Fireball, and on the right Luke in the back. I have the time for this race as well, but anyways, it's about to go green, and we're going green here at Ontario for Moto D. One driver immediately just letting off to the side, letting everybody pass him. Whoa, that was close. Almost some accidents there in the first corner. Couple drivers having to jump the inside. That's hilarious. Sector with the early lead. Oh! Big collision in the chicane. This is going to cause some issues. No, actually it was relatively clean, actually. The drivers got through that pretty well. This is tight. We've got plenty of drivers like right on top of each other, and I think that's going to be maintained for the majority of this second moto. Ooh, one driver with a big mistake. That's going to cause a pretty big pile up. And Slaunch is your leader early on the first lap. Sector, Vulcan, Ricardo, and Camby. That's your top 5. A lot of big battles here in the back of the pack, and these back of the pack battles are going to be important because this is where the battle for the overall is happening. It's probably going to be between Real Deal, Luke, and Fireball. Luke has the advantage with the Moto win. Real Deal got third, so he's at the biggest disadvantage, and then Fireball at the second, somewhere in the middle. So Detail getting by Camby right there for top 5, maybe? I think that might be top 5. So he's getting, yeah, that's pretty good actually for him. That's a pretty good start. Yep, top 5. Then Camby 6th. Roman is 7th. And with the way go-karts go, I think we could see some interesting results here with like how the overall goes. Like I think we might see some people that have like very average finishes end up getting the overall. Not the entire overall, but like good overall results, just because the way go-karts are, there's not going to be as much passing. So like, it's going to be a bit different there. Whereas on other tracks, you'll expect the fastest people to have like 2 podiums or something like that. I don't think it's going to be like that here. One driver, I think that was Ricardo making a move on Sector. Details closed in on this pack. He's got Sector and Ricardo in front of him. Getting by them is going to be the challenge. So let's get an update on all of the positions. The end of, what was that, the second or third lap? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. Slaunch, Vulcan, Ricardo. Detail just got by Sector. Then Roman, Camby, Luke, Real Deal, Opix. Or sorry, did I already call Opix? Might have been him as well. I might have called someone else wrong. So Fireball is at the biggest disadvantage of the overall contenders because look, he's still like way back here. Luke's in the biggest advantage because he's ahead of both Real Deal and Fireball. So I'd say he's at the biggest advantage for the overall. And not too far off the top 5 actually. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's in 8th. Real Deal's in 9th, which is not too bad for this moment in the Moto and Moto 2. It's going to be a big climb for both of those guys, really. We could see a battle here soon. Camby and Sector. Looks like they're both gaining on Camby and Sector pretty quickly. Roman up there battling as well with Detail. And yeah, this might be Oh, Detail's going to slide out, lose that spot to Roman, and that might be it as well for Sector 2. Detail makes another mistake. Camby also makes a mistake. A lot of mistakes going there in that last section. Oh, railing that inside bump. Oh, man. Those inside bumps are so dumb. All they do is make it harder to pass. Ooh, Seth, they're getting pretty close with Real Deal right there, but this is a pretty big battle in terms of the overall. Well, two pretty big battles, Real Deal and Scyther and Luke and Camby, because they're pretty much the contenders. Fireball is way out of this at the moment. Also got up here, Roman trying to work his way into the top 4, I think. I think Detail's 5th right now. Let me check. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So Roman and Detail with pretty decent starts. The fact that they're in the top 5 this early. Pretty good starts for both of them. Oh, Scyther, no. Making mistakes in front of Real Deal, and that's probably going to be it. That's going to lose Real Deal a ton of time, though. So unfortunate right there. That passing Scyther took quite a bit out of him. And we could see a potential top 6 battle right here between Luke and Camby, which is going to help out the overall, but at the same time, like I said, we might even see a 4th or 5th place finisher. If Roman or Detail could get up there to the lead, they could compete for this overall, but they would, like I said, they would have to get up there for the lead. That's the only way. And it's going to be a hard gap to catch, as it's quite a big one. And on this track, you got to, like, it takes a long time to pass people, and then you got to work the gap. Very difficult to make up that much time. We do definitely have a battle brewing up here for 6th place. Could be slinged any moment. Possibly here in the hairpin. Ooh, Roman in a battle as well. Just overtook Ricardo, I believe. And that's big for him. I think Roman might have just worked his way into podium position. I think he might have. Yeah, I believe he did. Ooh, close battle right here. Through the hairpin. Luke's going to work Camby to the inside, and Camby's going to fight back. This might be close. It's going to be whoever gets the better run into the chicane. And it appears that it looks like Luke's got Camby cleared. So that's 6th place right there. But then a big gap in front of him. And at that, at the end of that big gap is Roman, Ricardo, and Detail. Detail now trying to fight with Ricardo for 4th place. Roman's already got by him. He's in podium position right now. Which probably bring him a pretty decent overall result, honestly. Solange still in the lead. Vulcan in 2nd. Both drivers that you would have expected to be farther up in the first moto, but they didn't really finish that far up, so they had pretty high starting positions for this one. But I think there's going to be a battle here soon between Detail and Ricardo. Roman started to get away from him and trying to work down that gap to Vulcan, and that's a big gap. That's going to take a while. That might take the entire moto for him to catch up to Vulcan, and then he's got to try to make the move. This is a track that I think would benefit from like a 20-minute moto. Go-karts in general, I think, would be better with longer motos, just because it takes longer to pass people. Possible move right there, not quite yet. The Detail is right on Ricardo's bumper. Oh, tried to make the move. Well, this might be it. Oh, wow, Ricardo, I am surprised that he was able to hold on to that through there. He was like wrecking and still holds on to it, but Detail's getting aggressive on his inside. I think if Detail wants this position, he's going to need to make a hard move in the hairpin. Nice slide maneuver right there. Oh, Ricardo gets loose as well off of it. And now Luke possibly there as well to battle for 5th. And this is big because if he gets 5th, I mean, well, yeah. If he gets 5th, I mean, this overall is pretty much secured with where, like, all the other contenders are. Unless there's big mistakes at the front and, like, Detail could compete for the lead. That's the only person, really, that could take this. Unless Real Deal just makes insane gains. or Fireball just comes out of nowhere, which, I mean, Real Deal hasn't even gotten by Camby yet. Camby's pretty close right there. Real Deal's right there. And then I don't even know where Fireball is at this point. I don't even know if he's in the top 10. So this is pretty much to secure the overall here, as far as we can tell. Like I said, the only thing, I mean, a caution, I suppose if a caution came out, that could make things interesting, because then you could have a situation where like a Detail could work his way up to the front, because he's the only person right now in top 5. I believe, off the top of my head, he's the only person right now in the top 5 that had a top 5 finish, besides Luke, who's working on Ricardo right now still, in the first moto. So it looks like Luke's going to overtake Ricardo here for 5th. So like I was saying, I think Detail did get 5th in the first moto. So theoretically, if there was a caution, Luke remained 5th, Detail took the win. He's the only person that could really make a big run for this overall right now. But at the same time, again, it would probably have to take a caution. You have Real Deal. Real Deal's actually fallen off a little bit from Camby, and he's having to work Opix. Opix is right behind him. Fireball is actually starting to catch up as well. Fireball's pretty close. Pretty close behind. Oh, mistakes through the chicane. That's going to allow Fireball to gain a ton of time. We're going to have a 3-way battle here. Opix with the potential maneuver, not going to happen. Real Deal able to hold him off. Oh, it's getting sticky. That was almost like a 3-way battle. And Opix is the one that ends up hitting the cylinder and loses out on that. That is so unfortunate for him, because that might be his last position he can battle for. I mean, look at all that time. Those are fast drivers right there that he would have to make up. That is tough right there. You cannot make mistakes in this track. That's the only way to have a really good second moto from the back, is you just cannot make a single mistake. And if you do that and you're lucky, you might make it to the top 5. Podium would be very difficult to do from starting from the back. Podium would be freaking almost impossible, unless there was like a caution or something like that. I have that me theme stuck in my head now. Let's get an update on the front. Sanch still in the lead. Vulcan still second. Roman closing pretty fast. Hold on, let's check the time. Oh boy. I think we might... Oh, this is close. It's either 2 to go or it's 1 to go. I missed the time, boys. So, I'm just going to watch launch, because this is either 2 to go or 1 to go that we just hit at the line. I believe it's 1 to go. I believe we're on the white flag right now. It's been stuck in my head for like the past 3 days, to be honest. That was a fast moto, actually. Came up on the ending of it came up unexpectedly. So we'll have to see how he runs this after the finish, because I believe we're coming to the end of the race right here. It's just weird. It felt like this moto went by so fast. Yeah, it's got to be the end of it. Sanch with the win. Vulcan gonna hold on to second. Roman third. Detail fourth. Caught the gap there at the end pretty hard. Luke fifth. And Ricardo sixth over Camby. That was pretty close. Camby seventh. Fireball overtook Real Deal. We'll probably have to rewatch that one, see how that happened. We got most of the results. Let's take a look at that. That was a big pass for Fireball. I think Fireball finishes ahead of Real Deal now in the overall. Or maybe like tiebreaker with him. He must pass him in the last corner. You gotta be kidding me. Another last corner pass. There's been so many of these. Real Deal, he's not even leaving the door open, really. Wow. Fireball with just the ultra aggressive move, and it works out. I wouldn't even say that was dirty. That was just a super aggressive move, and it worked. That was really impressive, I'm not gonna lie. Nice move right there to steal a position from him on the final lap. Wow, that was impressive, honestly, for how bad Fireball's moto was. That was a really good move. Anyways. Alright, so anyways, Luke's going to take the overall here. Sanch with the second moto win. Overall finishing results. Or let's do Moto 2 first. Slaunch, Vulcan, Roman, Detail, Luke, Ricardo, Camby, Fireball, Real Deal, Opix, Hunter, Phil, Elite, Sector, Shift. And then for overall results, Luke got first overall with 29 points. Detail got second overall with 25 points. Slaunch huge tiebreaker for third, fourth, and fifth overall. Slaunch, Roman, and Fireball all get 24 points right there. And then Real Deal sixth overall, 22 points. Vulcan seventh overall with 19 points. Hunter eighth with 19. Camby ninth with 18. Opix 10th with 18. Ricardo 11th with 16. Phil 12th with 14. Elite 13th with 10. Sector 14th with 6. And Shift 15th with 4. Unique 16th with 1. And Zach eliminated in the LCQ with 1. By the way, yeah, this is the first time we had an LCQ this season, was this track. Should have mentioned that. But yeah, Zach with that 1 point from showing up got eliminated in the LCQ, unfortunately. There we go. There's second moto at Ontario. That went by really fast. Surprisingly, moving on to Salt Lake.